Hello everyone, welcome to new video in React Basics learning series. In the previous video we covered how you can refactor the app header and app footer component to its own component files. As part of this video we are going to cover how you can refactor the task component so that it can be used for completed task list as well as the to do task list. So let's head over to the VS Code and start coding. So first of all, create a new folder in your components. So we created this components folder as part of the last video. If you have not followed that, please go back and watch that video. After that, come back to this lecture. uh, so let's open this components folder and add a new folder here called as task. So within this task we need to add two more files. So first is called uh, task.js, and the second file you need to add is task.css. Now within the task.js file you need to import the task css, so let's import that. Import dot slash task.css. That's it, import is done. After that you need to create the component, so write function and then name it as task. So task is our component name, and then we are going to write our JSX within this task. Now let's export default task. So our component is structure is ready for use. Let's go back to the app.js file and see what we want to refactor. So as part of this, as you can see, we are iterating over the to do task list, and it has the item and then it has the action. So and similar thing is getting used here as well. uh, it is also called as list item. So what we need to do in this case is we want to move this entire logic out to its own component. So let's copy this and go back to our task component file and write a return statement, and within this return you need to put that entire JSX. So let's put this. Once you have this moved here, we need to look for all the CSS. So list item is one of the CSS that we are using. So let's go back to the app CSS file and look for list item and copy this cut this list item from here and move it to the task CSS file. So let's paste it here. Then we need to look for the second style, which is item content. Let's copy this and go back to the task app CSS file and search for item content. We have not added any styles for item content, so we can skip it. The next one is mark completed button. So let's copy this class name and go back to app CSS, search for the button style, and this is the style that we have for button. So cut it and paste it in the task CSS file. Okay, once you are done moving all these, what we can do is we can look for what all things we are using in this particular JSX. So first of all, as you can see, we are using something called as task. So we need to get all these things as props. So in this case, what prop meant to do is, like, if you want to pass certain data uh, from a parent component to child component, you can pass those things as props, and props are not supposed to be updated by the child component. Through props you can pass any kind of data value, and even you can pass functions through props. So in this case, task is a string, so let's pass this task. We will be getting task as a prop here. Then the next thing which is used here is handle mark completed click. So let's call a different name here. We will call it as uh, handle action button click. So this is something that we will be getting, and let's put it here. And then this index, so what is this index? So this is nothing but the task index in that array. So let's give it a name, task index. We will be getting this task index as prop, so we can pass the same here. Okay, so we have everything wired in now. The next few remaining things are like we need to import this check circle outlined, and we need to import button as well. So let's go back to the app.js file and see how we have imported this. So this is how we have imported, like from and design we have imported these things. So we can use the same, just copy this entire thing and go back to our task.js file and paste it. As you can see, these things are not getting highlighted, which means we are not using input. So let's get rid of the input, and then let's get rid of the plus circle icon. So we have added the button component, and we have the circle outlined as well. So it should be ready for the use, this particular component. Now let's go back and try to add the task component in our app.js file. So as you saw, basically we need to get rid of this particular part where we are using list item, and this entire thing will get replaced by the, so let's comment it temporarily. And what we can do is we can import this task, put a closing bracket, and then we can pass the props here. So first of all, let's go back and see what all props that we have. Let me open it side by side. So here I will open the task.js file. You can do control P and type task. You will be able to find that file in VS Code. It's a shortcut in VS Code. Now here, as you can see, I have used task as a property prop. So let's put task equal to, here you need to pass the value for the prop, so task. Now this task is coming from here. The next is the task index. So let's pass the task index props, and it is index here. The next thing that we need to pass is handle action button click, handle action button click, and as part of handle action button click, we need to pass the handle mark completed click, this particular method. So let's pass this method from here, and that's it. I think we are done with adding the, let's save it and see if it is working fine. So if I come back here, it seems to be rendering fine, but let's try to add some tasks. Learning React basics, number 11. So my task is getting added. Play cricket, go to Zim. So I added 3 tasks. Let's mark some of them as completed. Everything seems to be working fine, so we are good here. Let's get rid of this commented code, and that's it. We are able to refactor the entire task into a separate component. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to reuse the same component for the completed task as well. So I will be introducing one more extra prop here. Let's call that prop as hide action. So hide actions, and based on this particular flag, I will try to hide this particular button, because for the completed task we don't have any actions, right? So for that reason we are adding this hide actions prop. So based on this hide actions, if hide actions is true, which means we want to hide the action button, but if it is false, in that case we want to show it. So for that reason I have added a negation in front of hide actions, and let's control exit and paste it here. So now whenever I pass the hide actions prop, if it is true, uh, my button won't be visible, which means actions won't be visible, and whenever it is false, then the button becomes visible. So in case of our to do task list, we want to show the actions, so from here I will be passing hide actions as false. Hide actions false. And here we can use the same task, but in this case, so let's add task and close it. And similar to this, like, we need to add some index, and handler is only needed when you have some actions. So let's copy this and paste it here. In this case we don't need the handler because we are not having any actions, and hide actions will be true. So if you look at this entire thing, let's go back and see how it looks in the, so index is not defined. In this case I need to add index here. I added the index. Now let's go back and see. So now as you can see, completed task is also showing up. Let's refresh this page and add new tasks. Learning React, go to gym, play cricket, and I can mark these tasks as completed. I think there is some issue. Let me check again. Learning React, go to gym. Okay, let's mark this as completed. Go to gym. Okay, it seems to be working fine. So we have refactored both these parts. Now I have few more things to handle here, but let's do all those things as part of the next video. uh, so that's it for the current video, and if you're liking the videos, please make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends, so that they can also get benefited from it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.